Yeah, Philly Notion gang. You know who you rocking with. Your boy Philly Notion. We in the building. Warm it up. Anyways, you know what time it is. Welcome back. If you new to the ride, make sure you hit that subscribe. Again, hit that subscribe. Because ain't none of this possible without your help and your pushes. So definitely, feel free. Drop a like also if you like the video. If you like this content I'm pushing, feel free, drop a like. I got some other videos that I dropped about a couple days ago, so make sure you go check that out also. Definitely, again, if you're new to the ride, feel free, hit that subscribe. Quick shout out to my boy Liam. I appreciate you. First comment, first checkout of the of the movement. So you already know we definitely YouTube homies. So you locked and loaded. Notion Gang certified, official. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and talk about a few things today. Definitely some things that honestly it's a damn shame that I even got to make content about this kind of stuff, but we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk a little bit about this George Floyd situation. Yeah, we definitely gonna break some of that down, just the overview on that, and then we also gonna talk a little bit about my opinions on Shady McCoy, my feelings on if he should come home, if he need to go ahead and look elsewhere. We're gonna talk a little bit about that, and then also I came across a question. I was doing some reading where I think it was in maybe ESPN. One of the questions they was asking was pretty much, are the Eagles invested in Carson Wentz? Or are they, long-term invested in Carson Wentz? Really though, ESPN? Is that a question? But we're going to talk about that too. So yeah, feel free, buckle up, join the ride. Again, if you're new to the channel, feel free, hit that subscribe. Because we're going to have a lot of things we're going to talk about throughout this year. Again, this is a new movement, so feel free, join the Notion Squad. You know what time it is, Philly Notion. All right, let's go and talk about this situation. Now, of course, this is depressing. I honestly really ain't trying to be talking about none of this stuff, but because of the media and the content, it's everywhere. We're going to go ahead and talk about it. But we're going to talk a little bit about this George Floyd situation. Now, first things first, this kind of stuff, unfortunately, is happening way too much. Way too much. The only reason, honestly, too, why it's on this channel is just because of the shout-outs that Carson and Zach Ertz made. I really ain't trying to dive too much into this, but we definitely going to talk about it because there needs to be some awareness brought to this stuff, and it's getting out of control. So, again, looking at this whole picture in a whole, the police organization overall need to figure out a way, to try to bridge that gap with not using, excessive force when those times ain't called for it. I mean, there is no situation to where you can explain to me where there's an unarmed man for whatever the case, whatever small petty crime he did, you need to have a man on his, on his face with your knee in his neck for over 9 minutes to keep a man subdued. I don't care if you're a police officer or what, you got a badge or not. That's bad business. Now, one of the tough things that, it makes it real challenging for is that there's good police officers out there. And this creates a stain on the good police officers, just because of these situations that's constantly flaring up in the news like that. It creates this big struggle, this power struggle between the communities, between the police officers, which it definitely is unneeded, so there needs to be some kind of complete understanding within all police organizations on how to handle these situations without using excessive force. Definitely, I'm glad all them officers got fired that was part of that nonsense because, yeah, that was completely uncalled for. Shout out to his family. My prayers are with y'all, definitely, because this whole situation could have been prevented by all means. And now, this family got to mourn a death for no reason. So, again, depressing situation. I really ain't trying to spend no time talking on it, but since we got to talk about it, we're going to talk about it. Shout out to, again, Carson for kind of putting himself in an understanding place, kind of stepping back, and understanding the struggles that the Black community has. So, I know personally me, I deal with, my own, cultural struggles also that, there's no hiding from it. Of course, anytime if there's a police interaction, I'm gonna comply, of course, but I'm still on edge. And that's just a natural thing of being a part of the culture. Unfortunately, history hasn't looked so good in the past. And, that's one of the things that needs to get fixed. Definitely, we need to continue to bring awareness to this stuff. But Yeah, I ain't gonna spend too much time on this. Let's go and talk a little bit about, just because I'm getting frustrated just even talking about it, just because the whole situation shouldn't have been, it should have been avoided. It shouldn't even happen like that. There ain't no need for that kind of excessive force. But anyways, let's go and move on to our next topic, which we're gonna talk a little bit about Shady McCoy, whether he should come home or not. Let's talk about it. All right, so this is a little more, fun to talk about. Let's talk a little bit about Shady McCoy. Should he come home? Now, I did some thinking on this, and one of the things right now, we got quite a few running backs. Maybe not, the running backs with the big names, but do we need running backs with big names? I mean, we do got Miles Sanders, which, I definitely, I'm on board with his talent. The man's pretty good. He definitely got some skills. I know we got some different change of pace backs, but I think what our biggest strength that we need, or not strength, but one of our gaps that we need to fill on the team, I would say, is definitely trying to get, like a big bruiser power back, right? So I don't honestly think McCoy fits that bill. I mean, definitely McCoy, we already got, the dancing squad on the team. We got a lot of dancers as it is. McCoy is not no different. McCoy is the king of dancing. And, I don't think we need that right now. What we need is some power that, when we in a situation where we need to go ahead and run the ball in for a yard or two, or what we got to do, hey, we need that full expressive power. McCoy ain't giving us that. McCoy going, he going to get the handoff, see what the hole looking like, and then try to flex something. We don't need that right now. Miles Sanders is, I understand, McCoy the best thing in the 2.5 in Philly, but now we got that 2.6, and what's next. So, yeah, definitely, I definitely think we need to invest in some kind of power back. I mean, don't get it twisted, McCoy legendary all day, I ain't going to be opposed to him coming to Philly if it's on some kind of cheap, minimum deal. But if he on some, he need to get the bag, McCoy, you can go ahead and find, go get your payday. Ain't no hating that. But go get your payday somewhere else, because it ain't going to happen in Philly. So, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on McCoy. Right now, honestly, I'm not sold on McCoy right now. I mean, again, great talent. I definitely think he's declining, and definitely I think, he's going to be too expensive for what we could fill other needs, than what we can get from McCoy. More attention needs to be put on these linebackers, which we'll talk about, I'm sure, in some other videos, but yeah, definitely McCoy, you might have to find someone else, bro. You still a Hall of, straight Hall of Famer, in my opinion. You still gonna be an Eagles legend. But sorry, McCoy, we're gonna have to miss this ride out, bro. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this question that I came across on ESPN, where they pretty much asked, are the Eagles really tied to Carson Wentz long term? I would say yes, definitely, just because they dropped the bag on Carson Wentz. They just recently dropped the bag. So, yes, Carson Wentz is in the long-term plans for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think what a lot of the confusion is, and I get it, a lot of people confused because of the second-round Jalen Hurts pick. But what y'all need to understand is that's insurance policy. We, out of all teams, know way too well how important a backup quarterback can be. A lot of these teams have been fortunate, to not have to experience no kind of injury to their starting quarterback. But that's one thing, Howie's definitely made it known. He makes, that's something they make a focus to, is the quarterback room. Now, whether or not, Jalen Hurts has a successful career, it may not be with us. That's to be honest. What he is right now is an insurance policy. He's a grooming product. So that's something, the organization, they're going to continue to work with that man and try to get him to where he needs to be. But at the same time, questioning if Carson Wentz is really the long-term solution, or in the long-term plans for the Eagles. What kind of question is that? They just dropped a bag to show they invested in this man. So yes, he is our long-term solution. Again, all this is bearing injury, but that's, again, injury can happen to anybody at any point in time in the league. So that's something we all got to deal with. But the Eagles are smart enough to at least invest in that position. So, again, I don't know what kind of question that was. But, yeah, definitely the Eagles are definitely committed to Carson Wentz long term. All right, Notion Gang, thank you for tuning in. Of course, if you're new to the ride, hit that subscribe. Feel free to also drop a like. Check out my other past videos. Again, I'm going to be pushing this movement. I'm going to be pushing, the things that we need to talk about. We're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about them right here on this channel, Philly Notion style. So, until next time, squad, y'all know what time it is. We're going to keep it warmed up. Let these teams know we here. You know what time it is. And until next time, keep the notion.